From the Intelfluence headquarters in sunny Scottsdale, Arizona, this is the Intelfluence Influencer Spotlight. In each episode, we sit down with an influencer from our network and we discuss their background as well as their unique approach to influencer marketing. Rickard Jean-Noel is the founder of Real Word Ministries and the Real Word TV. Rickard has a bachelor's degree in law and paralegal studies from New York City College of Technology. Rickard worked on a successful political campaign before working at a prominent law firm, then a nonprofit. Rickard currently works for another nonprofit called Canva. Rickard is also a preacher, motivational speaker, husband, and father. You can follow Rickard on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, to name a few. Well, thanks so much for taking time out of your day to speak with us, Rickard. Can you tell us a little bit about your background, including how you got into ministry?
Okay. So I came to America at the age of 2 from the island of Haiti. During that time, my country was going through a social and political distress. You know, they always had coops in Haiti where the military and rebels would take over the country. So we came to America at a young age. When I came to America, I lived in Bushwick, Brooklyn. That was during, I guess, post-crack era. So we started at very humble beginnings. We used to live in a room in the basement. The 5 of us, my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, myself. And from those humble beginnings, my parents had always told me that the best thing to do is to stay with education and stay out of trouble. Don't be a follower, be a leader. And so with those principles, we always stayed intact. But as I got older, I always was in the church, but I didn't really take church seriously because of many different things, because of the social construct of church where it's they treat people that got money in church better than people that don't have money. People with money, they're able to tithe more than people that don't have money. And at the time growing up, we grew up on welfare, on WIC checks and food stamps. I didn't see my real dollar up until the age of 10. And so all those things, that was part of my growing up, things I had to deal with. My parents, they struggled a lot, but they worked hard. And eventually they bought their first home. That was when I was maybe, 10 years old. They had bought their first home. And like I said, I was always in church, but I didn't take church as seriously as I do now. As I got older, I was caught up in, I guess, the street life, because at one point I was incarcerated. I was working at a place of business. I was working in a retail business, and one of my friends and I, he committed a crime, and I was there when he committed the crime. And because I did not tell on him when he committed the crime, we both ended up going to jail. We ended up going to central bookings. And after we went to central bookings, I ended up losing the job. So I was placed on probation, and then I had time to think. And so I took that time to reflect on life and everything that was going on. I started taking school more seriously. When I started school, I was studying dental hygienist in college, but I wasn't really interested in college. I was just going to college because my dad said if I was going to live under his roof, I had to go to college. So I was just going just to go, just like I was going to church just to go. And I ended up on academic probation. I ended up taking 2 classes, almost dropped out of college. But I stayed there, taking 1 class a semester until I got my GPA back up. And, I ventured even deeper into the streets, because I was more addicted to fast money. And it wasn't until I had this pastor that gave me the opportunity to preach one day. He said that, I'll let you preach because you have a lot of leadership qualities in you. And because you have leadership qualities in you, you just need someone to believe in you. And so he gave me the opportunity to preach, and my first sermon was called The Reincarnation of Rickard Jean-Noel, because I felt like it was a fresh start from where I came to where I'm at now. So I used the pictures in my mother's photo album to basically record my life from start to finish. And I did a PowerPoint presentation in the church, and they was like, wow, we didn't know you had this amount of talent. And from there, I did another sermon called Let Hughes Without Sin. And then I did a third sermon. My third sermon, honestly can't even remember the name of it. I think it was called Reborn in Christ, but that one went viral. Well, to me, it went viral. It did 50,000 views. And that's when people started paying attention to what I was doing. And then I became one of the youth ministers at the church, and then I got ordained as a deacon, and then, you know, the rest is history, like they say.
Very nice, exactly. Yeah, and tell us a little bit about Real Word Ministries and Real Word TV.
Okay, the Real Word Ministries and Real Word TV. So from preaching, I built a pretty big following, right? And so I didn't want to be a pulpit preacher where I'm just, you know, wearing these fancy suits and standing in the front and talking down to people. I felt like my ministry was more so touching the people. So I said, what can I do? Since I had a big following on Facebook at the time, I already had like 5,000 friends on Facebook, and people were always sharing my post and watching the stuff that I post. So I said, okay, let me use Facebook Live. That's when Facebook Live first came out. And I started off by just doing short videos in my room. And so I would do short videos in my room, and then people would watch, a couple hundred people. And then someone was like, why don't you just do a show, like a podcast? And I was like, let me see. So then I contacted a few people to start it. And the day when it came, 2 other people came, and we did the first show, first season, Why Do I Believe in God? We're currently in the 5th season, 120 episodes in right now. So we did the first episode, Why Do I Believe in God? And then I remember when we hit 1,000 views, I was like, wow, we hit 1,000 views. That's cool. Let's keep going. And then we kept going. And the person I started the show with, he was like, let's do some community service, because not that much people do community service. And then he was like, let's start off by giving away diapers, because there's a lot of mothers out there that have kids that can't afford diapers. So I said, okay, how are we going to raise the money? He said, let's use the show. There's people watching the show. So I said, okay, cool. So we started a GoFundMe account, and then we raised up a couple $100. We went to BJ's. We bought a couple hundred diapers, a couple hundred wipes, and then we gave them out. And people was like, wow, we've never seen anyone do this before. And it was like, yeah. Then when Thanksgiving came, we applied the same principle, and then we gave out, I think, 75 turkeys the first year. And then we got people to invest in the company, and that's when they was like, yo, you guys should become a nonprofit, because that's what you guys are doing. And I was like, okay, cool. So then we applied for the nonprofit status, and then we was like, let's do, so from the Real Word TV, the Facebook Live show, we eventually started the nonprofit, and then we applied for the 501c3 status from the IRS, and then it became official non-for-profit. Then the Real Word TV is, one day, I had this guy, he's like a mentor of mine. He was like, oh, I see you guys doing the Facebook Live shows. You guys should try to get on TV. And I was like, how do we do that? He said, there's a TV station downtown Brooklyn, a local public access television show. You guys should be able to get on. You guys are consistent enough, and the topics that you talk about is good enough. I said, okay, cool. So I went down there, I spoke to the producers. They was like, okay, you're gonna have to do producer training and this and that, unless like you film it yourself and you build your own studio. And I was like, okay, challenge accepted. So I built my own studio, and then I hired people from Upwork, the freelancing app, and I would hire people from India, outsource it because it's cheaper. And then like I would film it on Facebook Live, and I would send them the raw video, and then they would edit it, and then we would send it to the TV station. And so we did a couple TV specials, and then eventually we got picked up for an entire season. And then since then, we've been on TV.
It's wonderful. I love hearing all that's come from that, from the initial concept. That's great. Yep. And then as a preacher, motivational speaker, and family man, you work in a nonprofit, you're completing a graduate program. How do you structure your average week so you can get everything done that you need to accomplish, and still have some time for yourself?
I run a very tight schedule. Sundays are usually my chill day, my family day, and also homework day. So Sunday is probably the day that is less constricted. But Mondays I work 9 to 5. Now I'm working from home Mondays and Tuesdays. So from 9 to 5 I work my job. My day starts most of the time at 5 a.m. So from 5 to 7 I work out. Sometimes I walk about 3-4 miles a day for about 2-3 hours. So during my walks, I film short videos on Facebook, Instagram, motivational videos. Or I walk past buildings that, like my old jobs, places I went to school, and I give people like a short testimony, just to motivate the people. And I do a little workout. I get home by 7. I get ready for work, get the kids ready, give them breakfast. By 8:30, I'm out the house. If I have to go in the office, by 5, I'm home on Mondays. Between 5 and 6, I spend a little bit of time with the family, prepare for the show. The show starts at 7:30 when we shoot live at the studio. And I'm usually at the studio from maybe 7 to 9:30, depending on how late we finish. If the people after the show want to congregate and talk about the show. Then Tuesdays, 9 to 5 again for work. And then I got class from 6:30 to 9:45. So then after that, I probably just relax, watch TV just to ease my mind. And then Wednesdays, 9 to 5 for work, and then get off work, study, do homework, write assignments. Thursdays, do assignments as well. Fridays, sometimes Wednesdays, I do youth ministries with the youth. Wednesday afternoons. Friday is 9 to 5 work, and then I do youth ministries with the kids sometimes now on Zoom and with the family. Saturdays I do service. I do service with them on Zoom now too, instead of going in. Sometimes I go into the actual church, like this Saturday I went and I shot a live video, just to motivate the people that we're still here with them. And in the afternoon, we do an open forum where we speak to the kids about topics that's going on, like social issues. The other day, we spoke about police brutality and social economics, and working together to, I guess, put our money together and do something with the people. So that's usually my schedule, and every now and then on my days off, like Wednesday, Thursdays in the middle, I might schedule a couple interviews back to back. If people want to meet, people want to talk, things like that.
Absolutely. You have a busy schedule indeed.
Yeah.
For sure. And then as an influencer, have you had the opportunity to partner with any brands and any collaborations to date?
I mostly partner up with other influencers, like local influencers, like other motivational speakers, people that write books, other preachers. Sometimes they invite me to come speak at their church. I was supposed to do a week of preaching in Harlem before COVID happened, and then that canceled. I've also been working with local politicians, like city councilmen. I was working with the Brooklyn Borough president. I've worked with Mayor de Blasio before, but all that slowed down because of COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man.
In regards to brands, if the brand aligns with what I'm doing, then yes, I'll work with them. If not, then I don't really work with them. Like, some brands, like, okay, we're our brand, but you have to pay for it and we'll give you a discount off. Like, those I'm not really interested in it. Like, you're just trying to get me to spend money. It's like you're just giving me a coupon and I'm giving you free advertisement.
Right, exactly. And then last question, who are some people or some resources that have influenced you along your journey?
My influences on the picture on my wall in my home, and in the wall in my studio, I have a picture of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, and Obama sitting drinking coffee. And I'm like, what makes these men great was their mind. I had a sermon one time where I said the war above the shoulders. Try to fight your wars above the shoulders, not below, because below is when you get physical. Above the shoulders is all mental. And I respect those men for their intellect. When I was younger, I was more physical, but as I got older, I started to weaponize my mind instead of my fist, and it got me way further in life in general. In regards to people close to me, I would say my parents, my mother, my father. I draw inspiration from them. I draw inspiration from people that came from the same neighborhood as myself, people from Brooklyn that's doing big things, individuals like, Michael Jordan, he was from Brooklyn, Spike Lee. Even some individuals, I might not like their politics, but I respect their grind. Like, even Donald Trump, I might not like his politics, but to see the things that he was able to accomplish, I respect it. I was watching his documentary on Netflix on how he was able to build on what his father, Fred Trump, did. So that was inspirational. Even Obama, and some local people that I know as well. Like, I like to read up on bios. I might spend 2, 3, 4 hours just on Wikipedia. Wikipedia, you get lost on that. You click on one person, you go to another person. There's a guy named Story Gustav. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He's a former NASA astronaut, but he also went to medical school. He also have a degree in engineering. He's an Army veteran, ex-Navy SEAL, and all these other things. And I read his story through this other NASA astronaut. And then I actually connected with him through LinkedIn, and then he shared his story with me. And, I speak to him every now and then too. So, regular people that was able to achieve great things just because they were persistent and they didn't give up.
Want to join Intellifluence as an influencer for free? It's easy. Visit Intellifluence.com, click on the influencers link, and then click on the Join for Free button to sign up. You'll get immediate access to our influencer marketplace where you can browse relevant offers from brands and apply on the spot. Earn cash quickly by referring your friends and family. You'll also be eligible to receive attractive product and service pitches from brands. There's absolutely no cost to join as an influencer, so we hope you take advantage of our service. Also, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date. That's it for now. We hope to see you soon.